Welcome back to Borough Country. This is episode 10 of the Great Southern Railtrail and the final episode in this series. And we are heading from Welshpool to Yarram today, and that's about 26.6 kilometres all up. So welcome back and welcome to the final leg of the Great Southern Railtrail. Okay, so adjust the camera. Let me adjust this one slightly. So, hi everyone, welcome back to Borough Country, and today we are riding from Welshpool to Yarram, which is now the end point of the Great Southern Railtrail in heading out to the east. So this will be the last one of these heading out to this direction. So, and then once we've achieved that, we'll be heading off to some other trails to have a look around. So welcome once again, and it's a lovely day. It's quite cool, but it's very sunny, probably the best weather day we've had in ages. So let's just see how it goes now. I'm going to have some bumping around cameras here today because I'm trying out a new camera rack and I'm not sure it's going to work, so I might have to move the other one, put it into a different spot. G'day. What we'll do in a minute, so let's just see how we go now. So that looks a bit better. Yeah, so we're riding from Welshpool to Yarram today. Goes to a town called Alberton, and this is the newest connection on the rail trail. So basically the rail trail used to go from Nyora. Well, actually it went from Leongatha to Welshpool. It then got extended back out to Nyora, out to the west, and then there was a separate trail from Alberton to Yarram, and it wasn't quite connected up down at this point. So this is now being connected. Now, it's been connected for a while. It officially opened in August this year of 2024. It was officially open about a year after it was planned to be officially open, but it's open now and all happening. So that's a good thing. So it means now the rail trail is over 130 kilometres long. The Great Southern Railtrail, I should say, is now over 130 kilometres long, and it's a great ride. So, and look, the trails are really great all the way along. So we'll just see what happens today with what the landscape is like here. Already I've seen more people out on the trail today than I've ever seen today on the trails at all, and that's because the sun's out. So that's a great thing. So we'll see now. These cars coming down here. Now, because this is pretty new, I'm expecting really good fencing and all that at all the road crossings. It looks like there's a lot of them to start here. So just see how it goes. Okay. So, if you're watching us and you're not from Australia, welcome to the South Gippsland area of Victoria in Australia. A couple of things going on here. So, wow, there's about a couple of hundred cockatoos flying above us right now. I think that's what they are, yep. But you will also get at this time of year, we do get our magpies. And if you watched our last video and a couple of our shorts on magpies, you'll see what they do. They swoop down on people during nesting season. They don't take kindly to visitors. And they will basically come in and basically attack you pretty heavily, and they can actually cause some damage, those birds. So I'm wearing one of the ideas that's out at the moment, and there's gates here, but these gates have been left open. These are cattle gates, but they've been left open and they've been tied open, so they should be that way. Most gates you would normally close if you come across those gates. So magpie season. So the streamers I've got on the back of my helmet at the moment, the reflective ribbon, is actually something that gets used in gardens to keep birds off. They make a bit of a rattling noise or a vibrating noise when they're moving in the wind, and the birds don't really like the reflections on it. And it's the same reason why people with drones tend to put reflective stickers and things on the drones. Birds will attack them less often. There's something about that reflective nature of those things that the birds just don't like. So I've tried that out. Now last week I had the ribbons on, and in fact within 5 minutes of me heading out, a magpie actually did come after me, and lo and behold, it swooped around the back and hung around the back, but it didn't actually come in and impact my helmet like the previous one had done. So a much better outcome. And look, it doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't hurt the bird, it doesn't hurt you. It's just better. All it does is just makes them more wary of what they're coming after. So that's a good thing. Now already I can tell you that this trail is covered in lots of sticks and leaves and stuff at the moment. It's been really windy here. I actually drove down to this area a week or so ago, and the winds were really high winds, very strong winds, and that's why it's probably covered in all these twigs and stuff. So you've got to dodge around them a little bit. But while we're on it, right at the start here, and it's probably a good way to end off the Great Southern Railtrail, we've been riding this trail through all of winter. It's the whole lot of these videos have been through the winter season, and we're now in spring officially, although it doesn't feel like it. It was 3 degrees at home this morning, but that's Celsius. But it's been cool, and when you get these cold days that are sunny like this, they're just fabulous, especially when you're on a bike. It's really good. One thing you need to be aware of, if you have a look at the road that we're looking at right now in front of us, it is big open area of clay trail, basically. It's a sandy clay that they've put in here. It's fabulous to ride on, but it heats up in summer. And when it heats up, it becomes a really nice place for snakes and lizards and things like that to come out and lie on. Now, contrary to popular opinion, not everything in Australia wants to kill you. But the snakes here are very poisonous. So, well, a lot of them are. And so the best option when you talk about snakes, the best rule of thumb is assume it's going to be dangerous and don't go near it. And look, the snake's not doing anything bad. They're not lying there in wait for you. They're actually there just sunning themselves and getting warmed up, because that's how they move in summer. So you will come across snakes on trails in summer, and people frequently post photos of snakes on the trails, and that's just the nature of what they are. So if you are riding out here in summer, just be aware of that, and also be aware that the snakes are, a very high percentage of them here are quite dangerous. They're very toxic. In fact, some of them will kill you if you got bitten by them. Potentially, it would kill you. It certainly do damage to you. So please don't touch them. Don't go near them. Don't do what I saw with someone who stick out thinking it was a good idea to poke at them. That's just stupid, that is. Just let them be. Now, most of the snakes on a trail like this, they probably know you're there before you know they're there. They can feel the vibrations, and most of them will have moved off the trail, but just be aware some of them won't be. They're pretty happy sunbaking and they're just going to be on the trail. So if you are here in summer, just keep an eye out and just, you know, be sensible. Just give them time to get off the trail. They'll get off the trail when they know there's something around. They will get off the trail and leave you alone. And if you want to know what sort of snake it was that you came across on the trail, there is a really good Facebook page. I think if you just put in Snakes Australia or something into Facebook search, you'll find it, and it is a Facebook page where you can put your photo in of whatever snake that you saw, and they will identify that snake for you. So if you want to know what sort of snake you came across, that's a good way to do it. And there's a number of those people on there. They actually tell you whether they're an expert or not an expert, and the experts will post the correct information for you on those pages, which is really cool. So just don't get too close. Okay, so today this trail is, I'm not really sure exactly how long it is, so we're going to find out the measurements towards the end. I thought all up it was an extra 21 kilometres, but I think it's 21 kilometres to Alberton. So we'll just see where we end up as the ride goes on. So I'm going to shut up now and just do some riding. Welcome to Alberton. So this is the end point of the new extension from Welshpool, and as we get to this town, just a couple little things about it. Not a lot here on the trail. So the first thing you got to note, there are no toilets that I could find that are nearby. The closest one is about 4 kilometres away. There is food down here, and on the left you can see that white building. That is the Victoria Hotel, opened in 1890. It opened, and it is still there. So there is food there and toilets there if you really needed them. You would otherwise have to go to Yarram or the other end of Alberton. So if you turn right, you go to Port Albert, which is about 6.5 kilometres away, and if you turn left, that takes us up to Yarram. And today we're heading off to Yarram. And Alberton was meant to be the centre of the Shire in this region, but you know, as politics are, someone managed to move that idea that it would be in Yarram instead of Alberton, and so Yarram became the bigger town because people tend to move to where the centre of politics are for some reason. Not sure why. I'd move away from them. However, here we are crossing the South Gippsland Highway, heading back out of Alberton, and this becomes the part of the earlier trail here, and this is the Railtrail. So that Railtrail used to go from Yarram to Alberton, then down to Port Albert. Now we're not doing the Port Albert leg today. We will probably come back and do that at another time. But on this Railtrail adventure, we're not going to do that. And now we're heading off to Yarram. So this was just to get the final leg in. And now Yarram opened a little bit later than Alberton. And I'm just coming up on this guy up behind. Now he had his earbuds in. I dinged him a bell. I kind of yelled out and said I'm on the right, and then he said, "Oh, you've scared the hell out of me, mate. Didn't know you were there." So anyway, there you go. Don't have your music up too loud. So Yarram became a town a little bit later than Alberton, and it became the centre for business, and the train station was opened there a few years later after Alberton. So then you had a train line going from Yarram all the way through to Leongatha at that stage, and that opened it up to being able to do shipping with timber and also other mining, and also there's farming, and there was a milk factory there and plenty of other businesses opening up in Yarram. The train line also served back to Alberton as well, and the fishing industry from Port Albert and the shipping industry from there used that rail line as well back from Alberton. So this area was quite busy in the mid to late 1800s, and a very busy and growing town here. Welcome to Yarram. So this is the Yarram, this is the old railway precinct here, which is now a garden area with water, ponds and lots of bird life and lots of native plants here. Fabulous place here. There's a little exercise gym there over on the right, and as I turn right here and across this little park area, there's the truck waiting with Joyce for me there, and we are just on the edge of Yarram. So here's Yarram from the air, and this is looking down. That's the the South Gippsland Highway running across the screen there now, and you can see the cars going down it, and that's the centre of town. And straight there's a park down in the left there beside those red tennis courts, and down there and out to the main road is where the toilets are located. So once you come into town on the trail, turn right once you get into the park area, go down one of the streets and you'll find the council offices there and a park area, which is a very nice park area, and the toilets are located down in there. And also the main street. So there's plenty of food down there. There's cafes, very nice cafes in there to go and have a look at. So, and here's the park area down near the council offices, and it's a fabulous area here. There is a barbecue, electric barbecue. There are toilets down, as I said, out on the South Gippsland Highway there. Plenty of water, and of course there's a playground there over on the left. So it's a really lovely place to visit, and very well kept, amazingly well kept garden areas here. And that's the little toilet block there at the front there. So it's just out there. So you just got to go through the park area. There's a memorial to those people who guarded our shores during World War I. So one of the things that Yarram is famous for today is the murals around the town, painted by Hisko Kosnaran. My apologies if I pronounced that incorrectly, but brilliant murals. And the first one you're going to see in these photos coming up is that celebrating those people who just aren't celebrated enough in our communities, and with the great big thank you along the bottom. So fabulous mural there. There's murals for depicting all parts of the history of Yarram all over town, so well worth travelling around and having a look at that while you're visiting the coffee shops. And the very last picture here is Ada Crossley. Well, that's a wrap, everyone, and this time it's a wrap for the entire Great Southern Rail Trail, which now extends from Nyora right through to Yarram. And so when we started this, the trail was actually 109 kilometres long, with the Tara Rail Trail just adding on to the end. Now it's all linked up, and now it's 131 kilometres from one end to the other. So that's actually a really great thing. If they can extend it further, that would be even better. So we'll see you next time in Burra Country. We'll be moving on to some other rail trails, so keep an eye out. See you next time in Burra Country.